Hey Bogans, you with your best mate. Carol's asked me to look at the halo pastes. This time, new product out by Stamperia. I'm going to play with it against a couple of other products to see if I can get my head around what it's for and how it works. So join me for the fun. Halo paste comes in 4 colours. A green, a violet, blue and a gold. These are the smaller containers. They're like a little sample size, 50 mils. Apply paste with spatula on dark surface, preferably black, using stencil or freehand. Colour transforms while drying, and the dry time is 1 to 3 hours based on paste thickness. And the result, translucent, glossy effect. So as you can see when you open them, they are not the colour on the lid. As it dries, it reveals its colour. So here's what it looks like on a piece of black cardstock. That's the blue, the green. This is the violet pink. And the gold. As you can see, it's a more subtle effect than some of your other pastes might be. So I've been watching the Stamperia demos of this product to see how it's used. Main ways they seem to be recommending are as a texture paste through a stencil, for example. So here are some examples I did earlier. This is an icing paste from Finnabar. It's still metallic and a bit of shimmer, but it's not as glittery, I suppose. That's more of a very fine glitter. Here's an actual glitter paste next to this. So this is a generic glitter glue. Here I was looking at the Mermaid Effect Paste by Finnabar. This one's got a lot more chunkier glitter in it, big chunky glitter pieces. They're different products, but I find it interesting to compare them next to each other. Well, that one's a Turquoise Glamour Paste by Stamperia. They feel very similar, they just have a different finish. How about I apply some through a stencil and you can watch. And as it says on the jar, the thicker you apply it, the longer it takes to dry. It does take a fair while to dry in comparison to other texture pastes. So it appears white on your black, and over time it will turn into that. I'm going to recommend when you're using the paste, if you're using more than one colour at once, that you concentrate on which one you're applying, because you can forget which one you've put down and you can't tell because it's all the same colour. You also want to clean your stencil and palette knife or the brushes straight away because it dries quite hard and like a plastic. If it dries on your stencils, it might be hard to clean. The release of this has coincided with the release of the new paper series, Songs of the Sea. Songs of the Sea has mermaids and fish and things like that in it. So they've also released this texture impression plate, which is scales. So don't mind all that colour in there. I was playing around with some other texture paste and I just haven't cleaned it properly. I didn't have this texture plate a few days ago and I wanted to make sure I had something ready to show you on the video. So I've just done it in a different texture plate. This took more than a day to dry because I applied it quite thickly. So I'm going to peel it off in your presence so you can see what has happened. I, from memory, put all the colours on here somewhere, so they should come out. It pops out really easily and cleanly. And looking at it from there, it's hard to tell what's going on. So you definitely need a black behind it. And I'll paint that now with a gesso and we'll see what happens. Ooh. So as I said, it feels like plastic. You can see it's flexible, so you could wrap it around an object. I don't know if you're meant to be using gesso on this. Stamperia folks use some kind of, ooh, pardon me, some kind of black medium that I don't have. Can't imagine why gesso wouldn't work, so here we go. So that doesn't seem to respond that fantastically to the heat gun. Unless it says able to heat dry on these containers, I generally just take that to mean err on the side of caution and maybe don't. Or experiment and just try not to set yourself on fire. Okay, so let's turn this baby over. Okay. I don't understand. Okay, so I don't understand what's happened with this. It hasn't coloured. So I'm going to go in and try another coat. This time black paint maybe. Maybe when I was applying the paste, it didn't go into all the cracks and crevices, and that's why I don't really understand. Okay, so that's a little bit better. I think you've got to really get the black behind it. I don't understand why that's not turning up blue or gold, the colours behind it. Anyway, it's still an interesting piece, I suppose. Maybe it's just more custom made for this one, I don't know. Brief demo of how I applied it. This is how I've seen it put into the mould on the Stamperia demos. So I'm assuming that's how you do it. The other thing I've seen it being used on is resins. This is one that Helen did. Isn't that a beautiful resin? I don't know if you can see, it is very subtle. They're black gessoed first, resin piece black gessoed. That one's done with the blue halo paste, and this one's done with the turquoise glamour paste. So if you like something a little bit more mysterious, then the halo paste will please you. So there you go, friends, an interesting product. I certainly like it through the stencils as a texture paste. It's something different. Have a good day, everybody. Smell you later.